What is going on, everyone? It's your guy, Cole Jackson, back here in the Russell Street Report film room on Two Guys Watching Football, where we are going to get into the tale of the tape brought to you by DNL Tinting. Huge thanks to our sponsors for this episode. As mentioned, it's Gus Bus time, and I am super, super, super excited. His output was, good. 2 touchdowns. Can't complain about that. 16 carries for 66 yards. Not necessarily what we usually see from Gus. He's usually, five a clip and very efficient. A lot of that was other issues outside of Gus. But what you will see in this video and what I'm really focusing on, the things that Gus Edwards does that the other running backs on the team just aren't able to do. Breaking tackles, running off leverage, dragging defenders for extra yardage. All that stuff is why this isn't just a good sign for now. It's why it's going to get so much better moving forward. You should be very excited. I know I am. So let's get right into the tape.
Here, the plays aren't in order. I just kind of grabbed plays where I really wanted to focus on the skill set that Gus shows. So I tried to group them together a little bit by what he's doing and what I think fans want to know. So we're going to get your typical, you guys are probably sick of me explaining this play, but it's going to be a power right. You're going to get the pull from Powers, down blocks from the right side of the line. Gus obviously going through. We can already see the big man Ricard coming in motion for a kick out block. Let's go through and see how it goes, then we'll come back. There it goes. There's the kick out. Okay. So not like anything flashy here, but what I'm really focusing on, so again, you're getting all the way down to Andrews. That's where the pulling gap is. If you guys remember early in the season when I was complaining about the tight end blocking, do you guys remember how I always complained that the tight ends would double team one guy and nobody would go level 2? Watch Andrews here. Andrews goes straight into JOK instead of doing the double here, and Josh Oliver is just hitting a nice seal block. And that's really nice because you're going to get a fill here or a kick out here from Ricard, and then Powers filling the pull in there. And it's actually, like you can see, everyone's taking care of business. Andrew, perfect leverage on JOK. Ricard's hitting that outside leverage there. See, he takes care of him. Hits him, does enough to knock him off, but not necessarily a great seal block. Andrews gives up a little bit of ground, but not enough to disrupt. But number 50, not 100% sure who it is. He just does a really nice job. You can see him key the pullers, and he just fills the gap, and that's who Gus has to run through. So as he gets over there, you can see boom, boom. Now, a bit of a debate here. Powers is coming through. Typically, you see him work up there. He ends up going out. At the end of the day, there's 2 guys to block. There's only one of him. He ends up going outside. And so what Gus does here, nice and low through the gap. Look at him get low there. What he does compared to what we see from some other running backs. So this linebacker has his feet planted at about, what would that be, the 47-yard line. Gus runs through, absorbs the contact, is able to replant. Look at, that's his left foot right here. That's his left foot, and is able to continue to run. So he gets that other foot down. So he's just running through contact here. And that is a feature of Gus Edwards' running style that is so much different than the other guys. And he gets all the way up to the other side of the 50 at the 49 here. So a play that very, very easily, because the linebacker played it well, fills the gap. And we're looking at like a 1-yard gain if he's able to make the tackle. Gus runs through him, drags him into other traffic, and ends up getting a 6-yard gain. So it's just the little differences in running backs like J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. That's the difference in this running game when you have those running backs in. They just are able to run through contact, gets yards after contact, break tackles like we're going to see here in a bit, all that stuff. So here, we'll move on to the next one. I think we got inside zone here. Just so you guys, oh wait, sorry. You guys want me to play the play and then come back. So let me play it through all the way. Running through tackle. Look, another broken tackle. Okay. So it's always tough. There's a nice little thing. Inside zone, usually it's easy to know because everybody's first move would be to their left. And so everybody goes left except for Ben Powers. See how he takes that right step? So this is where, and kind of so does Linderbaum. So it might be duo, might be inside zone, but then everybody comes back left, and Powers looks like he's trying to overtake leverage so that Linderbaum can go level 2. I think it's inside zone, especially because of how Moses plays this backside edge, and this guy's really important because that's who makes the play here. So I want you to focus on Moses and what he does. I think he just gets a little too far inside. You can see that outside hand lands there, and he kind of grabs, and it kind of gets stacked up play side here. You're getting Powers not getting very much movement. You've also got 44 coming downhill, 54 filling here. Huge gap to explode on the backside. So he's going to hit that backside block, but Moses has completely taken inside leverage, and that leaves an easy adjustment for the backside edge, which he does. And so again, like what we just talked about, this is an arm tackle, not a good form tackle, but it's still, a big defensive end making a play on the running back for a gain of 1. What does Gus do? Runs right through it, keeps his legs churning, cuts back inside. Even down here, it's taking multiple guys to bring him down. So, and see, he's still not down. He's getting pushed forward. So he ends up about, what's this? I'm bad with yard markers. 43 right there. So the 43, and the play could have very well been made down here for a gain of 1. So he ends up taking it for an extra 5 yards again. So again, little differences, breaking tackles, running through contact, things that you just don't see from all the backs. This is the second touchdown run by Gus Edwards. You're going to get just kind of an ISO lead here. Nick Boyle's going to come in motion and hammer down on Clowney. And let's run it through. There's Nick Boyle running through someone. You'd love to see that. And so what was so impressive here, the efficient footwork by Gus Edwards. So you will hear, when they talk about Gus, you'll hear about how he follows his blocks, how he reads leverage really well. And so this is a good example of him running through leverage. So you're getting the kick out block from Boyle here. Clowney's no joke as a run defender. He hammers him, is able to take him out of the play. And right here, you can already see Gus starting to step inside. And so all he's going to do is ride the inside butt cheek of Patrick Ricard. See right here? And he's just going to run right through him. And so this is important because when Gus gets here, we got Clowney set in a hard edge. He could kick it outside, or he could take a hard cut right, and that a waste of a hard step. But instead, look how narrow his base is right here. See how he narrows his legs in right behind Ricard? That's the difference between, seeing a guy try and cut it. He just, it's actually kind of funny. He's literally right behind him, and Ricard's right behind Boyle, and they're going to collapse inside of Boyle. And that just creates the gap that Edwards uses to get across the line. Just smart running, efficient footwork, not trying to take a jump cut, not trying to do too much, just efficient feet. This is, one of my favorite plays is when you take advantage of a defensive strategy. So what you're going to see the Browns do here is a scrape and fill. And so you're going to get a scrape down from this edge defender and then a fill from the linebacker. And so the idea of doing this here is this guy's going to scrape. He's going to be the read man if it's an option. So we've seen this a lot against the Ravens. So he's going to scrape down. That should tell Lamar to keep it, but Lamar ends up giving it. And then JOK is going to fill, and the whole idea from the defensive standpoint is force the quarterbacks to keep it and already have this linebacker going out to try and meet him. So watch, you'll see them exchange. They're going to do a gap exchange. See right there? So you've gotten the scrape down, and this is supposed to be the fill, but this is just one hell of a block from Mark Andrews. So let's run it through. I just wanted to explain it before. I'll run it through so I don't get yelled at again. And not a whole lot that Gus did here, but I loved this play. And so you're going to get a great block from Oliver inside. And I mean, this is a scrape, right? So he's just taking his momentum and using it against him. The man who makes this play, in my opinion, is Mark Andrews. This is a technique, and I just tweeted about this, that you see from Nick Boyle, and I would put money down that he taught Andrews this. So as he gets close to JOK, you'll usually see guys And you can see him right here. He jumps into a chute, right? And then you'll see guys try and drive block. So he would be getting that inside hand here up into the armpits, like I know you guys love. And instead, see how he's running like that with his arm out? So he redirects him inside, or directs him inside. And then rather than trying to run through the shoulder and it getting all sloppy, he just keeps his arm out and runs with him. And he's doing just enough to create that space. And see how he leads him in there and then pushes him outwards. So just smart block, not trying to do too much, being efficient, moving the defender to where he wants him to go. Ricard smashes the DB with the kickout block. And really who screwed this play up, you have JOK and 43 both filling the same gap. I would assume if 43 reads JOK coming inside, he should be hopping out here so that you have all your gaps covered. Nobody does. Gus sees it. Gus runs through. That's why the Browns have a terrible run defense. Takes advantage. So just, I mean, what Gus did there that I like so much, just he saw a gap and he just didn't hesitate. On this play, it's power right again. I missed the start of the play. Sorry. There's Powers doing the kick out block. These are your down blocks. You guys are probably sick of me explaining it. So let's run it and we'll come back. And so what we're going to see here is kind of the same thing we talked about on the first touchdown. And that is, I mean, this is just a well blocked. The down blockers absolutely crushed it. Powers, kicked out. And you're going to see Edwards, as he gets to this point, at first I was like, how did he not jump out here? Because you got outside leverage from Ricard. See how his head's there. It looks like you're getting inside leverage from Andrews. That would open up this gap. But I'm assuming he sees this safety coming this way across, and he just assumed he wasn't getting out, so he tried to be a little bit more efficient. And what he does is he jumps right into Ricard. So he jumps into Ricard and runs off his leverage. That creates, a good extra couple of yards. So I was a little confused there, but when I watched it through a couple times, it was kind of clear what he was trying to do. I mean, Andrews has a little bit of a hold here because he kind of misses anyway, so it wasn't called. See how Andrews lets up a little bit. But, really, really efficient there just to kind of run into Ricard, run through the block, ends up taking him for a couple extra yards. And then right here, last play we're going to take a look at, power right. And again, just the way he cuts off Ben Powers. Watch him get low. He's going to be as low. He's going to plant this foot right here. And he's just going to cut up and then right down low again. And this is what Gus does so well. Runs right through.
A&L Window Tinting, a family-owned business for over 30 years, has everything you need to protect your most treasured assets from the sun's detrimental ultraviolet rays. Protect your car, your home, and of course your family. Every day your vehicle battles rocks, sand, dirt, scratches, road debris, and bugs, all of which can eat away at your car's paint. Your vehicle's windows and those at home, when unprotected, can bleach your seats, furniture, carpeting, and more while driving up energy costs. Let D&L help. D&L Window Tinting. They put the shade on the sun.